Hello, hello, people. Yes, it has sort of started. Let me get everything ready and set up first, and then I'll get right into stuff. Get right into things. Get whatever. Um, Thank you. Curse of liking my... No, no, do not start. Okay, I'm gonna give some time for people to come in. I will be right back. Thank you. Guten Morgen. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Hello, hello, everyone who has joined the stream today. Happy to have all of you here with me. It's gonna be a typical me talking most of the time, not drawing anything in particular stream, probably. But I do have some specific things that I do want to talk about. Ooh, and also, hold on. I'm gonna be working on stuff for the next video, and I was gonna ask you guys something. Cause... This is my excuse, okay? You know how the channel is based on, like, focusing on the process of doing things? Right. I'm trying to make the next video, and I want to put a lore segment in it that's a conversation between Jakob and the stranger. I have no idea how to fucking do it. I've racked my brain about it for so long. It's been months that I've been writing the conversation over and over and over again, and I just feel like I'm not finding the right way to illustrate a conversation. Also, my girlfriend says hi. She just texted me, so just so you know, she says hi. But yeah, what I mean is, I've written the conversation so many times. I'm going nuts over this conversation because, like the previous video I did, you know, about the failed attempt at doing the conversation between them. Hold on, I need to take off my headphones. The droning music might help for the stream, but for me it's like just noise in my ears. Over perfectional, dude? No, it's like... How do I put this? When I start the conversation, so if I do the whole conversation like I feel like it should be, where they literally continue from the point of opening the door, where like the first witch hunting video left off, the conversation is really long. Like, it doesn't get to anything quickly, because you know, if you want a natural conversation, it's gonna be a long conversation that doesn't have like all of the content like compacted into a perfect package. You know, there's gonna be tangents and side stories and you know, sometimes there'll be awkward silence and stuff like that. And the problem is, I'm conflicted between doing that kind of conversation where it's focusing on the natural, like how people naturally have a conversation, and just trying to get it to be like a sort of strange, like ad-lib interview type thing, or doing another thing, which I also thought would be neat, which is like game dialogue. So sort of sacrificing the authenticity of people having a normal conversation, but adding in this sort of weird, eerie aspect where we can have a conversation between the main, like the stranger and Jakob in a sort of game sense, where it would be like a screen. Hold on. Let me draw it up. I was thinking it would be similar to the item things. So it would be like a screen with Jakob here sitting, and like an image that's like slightly animated, maybe, you know, some light flickering onto the side, him with his instrument like this, like sitting down, like you're having a conversation with him, right? Him with his instrument, and then like the text box underneath. Yeah, it's like a, you know what, it's a dating sim. That's what I thought of. A dating sim where you can date Jakob and have nice dates, go on dates with him, for where you go and hunt witches together. Monster Garden works on stuff too. A visual, yeah, that's what it's called, a visual novel. Sorry, it's not dating sim, it's a visual novel. Yeah, this is just turning into a video game and I'm not having real complaints. Yeah, that's sort of the aesthetic I'm going for instead. Is like, that's the idea I had. And then the good part with that is I can have the conversations be very specific and concise, right? So you could literally have it be like an interview. If for example, you could have a screen in between the things that Jakob says. So, okay, in a normal conversation, it would be weird if it's only Jakob talking really long, right, and explaining things. But in the setting of a game conversation, it's more normal that the main character that you're playing, for example, would say like, huh? And then Jakob would be like, ah yes, witches, you know? And then he'd go on this long tangent about witches, and you'd be, you wouldn't bat an eye at it because that's how games are. You know, characters never shut up. They want to tell you about everything. If you mind, you can do it in the style of Disco Elysium dialogue. Disco Elysium dialogue? Don't spam it, Richard. I would recommend not spamming it. Maybe Jakob is just very, hyper fixated on witches and info dumping. Well, look, this is the thing. His character that I've thought up, the nature of his character is that he doesn't like talking about stuff, right? Like, or a lot of things about him make it so that it's difficult to get straight answers and information out of him. Not, like, okay, he is quite secluded. He doesn't talk to anybody else. The other two witch hunters that are going with him on his journeys don't talk either, so he mostly just talks to himself. Or he doesn't talk to himself. He talks to the other witch hunters, but they can't respond well. They can't respond vocally. So he sort of like has this rambly, mumbly nature to his voice that I wanted to capture somehow, where he hasn't gotten used to talking to people and actually needing them to hear or understand him. So it's like he will talk, but then it would just like mumble off into nothingness, right? Sometimes. Or he'll go on random tangents because nobody's ever there to stop him from going on random tangents. So he's like developed all these weird talking things he does because he's not interacted with people for so long. But also, it's that I wrote him to be very evasive when it comes to questions about witches and his work, because he doesn't want to talk about it. He would rather, if you're in his situation, or when I put myself in his shoes and I thought about, okay, random stranger comes to my house. I've been a shitty, decrepit witch hunter this whole time. I'm sick of this shit. But I'm fated to do it forever, right? A stranger comes in. Somebody I can talk to. Great. Let's talk about something. And then he asks me a question about witches, the thing I want to get away from. Like, he would want to pull the conversations in directions that isn't about witches, right? He would want to talk about things that he likes. The wood carvings one of the other witch hunters does. His instrument, the music they play, like what they do in their free time. What kinds of foods they like. Like, and that sort of makes it a problem because you get what I mean? It's like the character has developed into something that is a good character, I think. I like him as a person. Like, I would love to have a conversation with him, but I wouldn't get that much lore out of him, you know? I would get to know him, but not lore about other things. Is this going to be a video series in the style of video game dialogue, or an actual visual novel style video game? It's gonna be a video, right? But I'm conflicted on how to do it. The thing is, normally I put this little segment of lore into the video about the character. So I'm working on a video about Jakob and the development of his design over time, right? So the video, from what I have the script right now, is going to be like 6 minutes long, sort of the same as like the dwarf video, right? In the same sort of style. And then I wanted like a little lore segment. But the problem is the nature of his conversation doesn't allow me to make it short. If I make it short, it's going to be weird, because then it's just going to be a segment of the conversation, and I don't know what segment would be good to use. What trait does the stranger have opposed to Jakob? Maybe if the stranger is really, really emotionally intelligent and empathetic, expert in coaxing stuff out gently. Well, that's okay. I do have some parts in the dialogue between them that I've written up that is sort of that coaxing out, where he is sort of teasing that more brash side of Jakob to get him to talk more about his work, where, you know that trick where you tell something, you tell someone something obviously wrong, so they correct you and ending up give you the information you wanted from them. So instead of just asking them, you tell them, oh, well, this is what I've heard. And they'll go, no, what the fuck? That's not it. It's this. And then they tell you about it. That happens in a part of the conversation where the stranger asks about remedies against witches. And he coaxes an answer out of Jakob by telling him what he has heard from villagers and what villagers' remedies are against witches. And Jakob then responds, because he's been a witch hunter all this time. He of course knows what shields against witches. So he goes, oh, what the fuck? That's not the remedies. The remedies are putting salt in a circle around the place you're sleeping, and hanging up anointed strings so she can't enter, and blah 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 blah. You know, and then he like goes off on this tangent. Why not have the stranger talk about the conversation? I was thinking about that as well, right? But I feel like it would be easy to do that, and I want it to be more like the conversation, you know? I want to focus on the conversation, not somebody telling you. Like, what would be more interesting? You hearing about someone telling you about the conversation they had with someone, or you being there to witness the conversation between the two people. I tried to get characters who don't, try to get a character who doesn't want to talk is someone that only wants to listen is very interesting. I would probably make it so it's more like an adult talking to a child that has no idea. Being there. Yeah, being there. I think being there is the more interesting option. But the problem is, I don't think I can put it in the same video, because I have this thing where I like a video to be very concise, right? And compact, which is the opposite of what the conversation with Jakob would be. But I like it to be to the point. If it goes off on a tangent, I'd rather have it be another 2-minute video instead that focuses on that thing. So when you come into a video and it says, I redesigned witch hunters, it focuses on the witch hunters, and that's it. You know, I don't go on any tangents, because that could be something else, you know? So, like, I don't think I can put the lore portion in the video talking about the design of Jakob, so I might make a video that is just about the design of Jakob, and then make a separate video that focuses on the conversation between Jakob and the stranger. Which bothers me a little bit, because, you know, some people want lore, and that won't be in that video that I'm gonna post. But I guess it's also good, because they'll get a larger portion of lore in the conversation that's a separate video. I would say split it. Yeah, so that's why I sort of wanted to talk about that on the stream. Well, I am talking about it on the stream, literally, right now. I've been talking about it. But this is what I want to talk about. Is like, I'm stuck with how I'm supposed to deal with this lore conundrum I have, where normally I like small tidbits in videos, but also the conversation would be lengthier, and how to illustrate the conversation and stuff like that. That allows you to focus on two stories, the lore story and the character story. Yeah, I think that's the way to go, is to do them separately and just divorce those two ideas. This is a divorce. A lore plus character design in the same. I really think I want it to be lore plus video. A plot twist that doesn't end up happening through Jakob's story, but rather maybe the stranger legitimately doesn't understand how to fight witches, so he explains what he thinks. He has already experienced the convo, and he can interpret the answers into the real ones. Well, yes, but that's the thing. Chicken lower god. The thing is, like, yes, the stranger could interpret the conversation and tell you about what he thinks the answers are. But I like the idea of them having a conversation and just nobody, like, you can just interpret it yourself. And with any answer that Jakob gives, you can either think he's saying the truth, or he's telling a lie, or he's avoiding the truth somehow, and I won't tell you if they are or not. You know? The same way the stranger, I want the stranger to be more focused on giving a look into the people he talks to, instead of trying to interpret their word. He just tries to present it as raw as possible, right? He's documenting information like that. Give short, reserved answers and try to just get us to keep pushing, maybe even manipulate an answer out of Jakob. Yeah, that's the dynamic I'm trying to get at here. Is like I've been writing scripts for this interaction for ages now, and I'm working away at it to try and get it to feel right, like a conversation, but also that the stranger is trying to get something out of it, and Jakob's just trying to make a friend. Like, it it seems so cruel when I say it. It's like, Jakob's just like, hey, new friend, wanna hear about my music? And then he's like, no, tell me about witches. Damn it, another one, fuck. I just want to tell them about my music. Maybe he would intentionally leave out bits of information about things. Yeah, like, don't give me, like, suggestions of how Jakob would interact and stuff like that. No charm. I thank you for the suggestion and stuff, and thank you everybody else who's giving me suggestions on how they should interact and stuff. I have how his character interacts and, like, says answers laid out, right? I have an idea of why he says things the way he does. You know, his character is clear to me, and what he would say in situations and why he would say it those ways. The problem is just the video format that I would present it in. Richard, please. My God. Okay. Hold on. We gotta... How do I deal with guys like that? Do I, like... Can I just... Hold on. How do I, like, slow down people? I don't know. What's the etiquette? Meet them in chat. Yeah, but I don't have... Hold on. I don't have my account connected to this. Click their name, ban. No, not ban, just timeout would be preferable. Hold on, I'm figuring it out. Put user in timeout. Oh, whoops. I thought it'd give me like an option of, hey, how long do you want to put them in timeout? Do I have to put them back into time in after? Put user in time, wait, no. What did I do? What did I just do? Forever. Wait, no, hold on. Richard, I'm sorry. I know you're spamming, but still, I didn't want to banish you. I thought when I clicked timeout, it would ask me like, hey, how long do you want to time out this guy? It just timed out you. I don't know. It put you in a prison of time. Oh, shit. Hold on. Put user in timeout. No, I already put him in timeout. How do I put him out of timeout? How do I get him out? Get him out of there. Put user in timeout. Oh, fuck. I think I just double timed out him. Oh, no. He's 2 dimensions deep. I think I just put him 2 dimensions into the timeout deep. Ah, shit. Wait, what is a timeout then? I thought a timeout was like for an amount of time, and a ban is like a kick or a ban. What's a timeout? How long is a timeout? Hold on, I'm searching it up. How long is a YouTube live timeout? How long does YouTube timeout last on YouTube? Between what? Varies depending on the severity of the violation. Most times out lasts between 3 and 24 hours. 3 and 24. It didn't give me an option. What do you mean? What determines the severity? Who is the judge of this? Who is the judge of this severity? It's like based on the severity. Yeah, but I just wanted to give him a little warning. Fuck. And I did it twice. Okay, just as an apology, I'll have one of the people in the world called Richard, and they'll get banished into some nether realm. Damn it. I genuinely don't know how to reverse it. Hold on, how to untime out someone. How to untime I'm out. How do I undo a timeout in a live stream? Reddit, help me. Last night when I was streaming, one of my mods fat-fingered one mobile and accidentally timed out someone. Yeah. There's no way to undo a timeout. They wouldn't show on the hidden users list because a timeout is only temporary. Oh boy, I'm sorry, Richard. I'm so sorry, Richard. On behalf of you, I will just flip a coin, because that's what you spammed last. So, I'm gonna do a coin flip in memory of Richard. I'm so sorry, Richard. This isn't even a coin flip for anything in particular. I'm just flipping a coin, because that's what he asked for. Richard, if you can hear me from the Netherrealm, or wherever you've been teleported to, It's heads, buddy. It's heads. I see him. We see him in the clouds. Could you flip another coin? You know what? Yes, of course I can flip another coin. Of course I can. I'm tearing up a little here. So sorry, Richard. I know, you're just passionate. He was just passionate. We didn't have to do that to him. Sorry, I'm pulling you guys into it like you're all responsible for this now. No, I didn't have to do that to him. Okay, let's flip another coin. Okay, Richard, if you can hear me. It's another heads. Timeout is 5 minutes. Oh, I thought it was like 4 to 24 hours. Wait, how do I determine how long a timeout is? Richard, are you here? We're responsible at heart. Hey, Bill making stuff. Holy shit. Holy shit. It's actually you. What the fuck? Hi. I watch your stuff. I am very honored. I don't know how to respond. Why are you surprised? I like your stuff. Why wouldn't I be surprised, Bill? Can I wait? Do I say Bill? I've never had to have a conversation with you. What do I say? Like just Bill or Mr. Bill? Oh, Mr. Bill Maker, Bill, the maker of the things. Yeah. What am I supposed to do? Well, but yeah, I love your videos, man. I just watched the one about tanks, like, I think like yesterday. I like it a lot. The tanks are really neat. And, like the story about them being like indestructible weirdly and stuff like that. Wrong dialogue option, Simon. Yeah, I'm failing charisma checks horribly right now. But yeah, I'm glad you like my content. Thank you. I appreciate that a lot. But yeah, if you're wondering, I don't know how late you came into this. Before this, I accidentally banished someone into the Shadow Realms by giving them a timeout, which I didn't know was, it wasn't negotiable. But then before that, I was talking about how to like illustrate the lore of the witch hunters, with like making and I think we're deciding on making a separate lore video that focuses on a conversation between the stranger and the witch hunter, and then having a separate video that I'm making now about like the origins of the witch hunter design. On 1.5 speed, so this feels slow and weird. I'm so sorry, AJ. Yeah, I talk quite slowly, I think, probably. You're brilliant at lore, hence why I subbed. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Coming from you, I love your lore as well. The little videos, you balanced it so well. Like that's I'm trying to do that as well somehow, where it's like a nice, it focuses on creating the thing, and then you like talk about the lore as well, and it's like this nice little balance where. Thank you. Thank you. I have ADHD. Understandable. Very understandable, AJ. But yeah, so I guess what we can do, because, Simon gets to meet his idol. Yeah, okay. It's crazy how, like, I thought that I didn't put people on pedestals, like, sometimes you think, like, yeah, you know that there's people behind them and stuff like that. I'm editing stuff. Oh, that's cool. But yeah, I think I don't put people on pedestals until I finally got to interact with them, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, oh, I'm nervous. Like, the other, or like a while ago, Miscast, I commented on one of Miscast's, like, he was asking for a Q&A, and I was asking him when he was gonna do another Monster Bash. Like, the ones where he, like, cuts up, or like has prompts for monster pieces, and a lot of other creators, like, make random monsters together and stuff like that. I love that sort of thing. So I asked him, like, hey, when are you gonna do another one of those, on his Q&A? And he, like, commented, and he was like, it's you. And I'm like, it's me? What do you mean? It's, like, you know me? What the fuck? He knows me. I was in Monster Bash. I know! I would... Wait, last? You say last, like there's not gonna be another one. Bill, don't tug on my heartstrings like this. There has to be another one. My dream was to be in one of those, because I saw that, like, normal, I would love to be a part of that, like, who knows? Bill, don't tease me like this. You better. But yeah, that stuff was for in, like, the sort of miniature building community and stuff like that. And I love that sort of stuff. I just want to get into that sort of stuff myself. It's just that, I don't have the funds to get into that sort of stuff. But like, I love miniatures and that sort of stuff. But I know that in Monster Bash there was some artists that didn't make miniatures and they made, like, drawings instead. So, like, maybe I could be, I could be a part of that. Yeah, exactly. It was also for illustrators. You'd fit in perfectly. Yeah, I mean, not to... I mean, I would say I qualify. My... Need to see more collabs with this world-building atmosphere. Like, okay, Simon is rolling with disadvantages on these. Hey, look. Like, this is why you haven't seen any collabs, by the way. You're figuring it out now. I am terrible at talking to people. Gonna nag Trent for another... Oh my... Okay. Oh, I don't know how to tell you this, but if there happens to be another one, please contact me in whatever way you can. I don't know how formal you guys are. Like, again, it's that thing of, like, do you guys use, like, Discord, or just, like, send each other formal emails, or like, are you telepathic? Is that how all miniature creators just talk to each other? If you can think for a good collab, I'm up. What? Seriously? Discord. Okay, right. You guys still use Discord. They send mini pigeons. But yeah, like, the reason I haven't had many collabs is just because, well, I'm bad at talking to people. in a community, or bad at being a part of a community. You know, like I'm not good at like interacting with people and stuff like that. But I mean, I can't think of. Also, just I'm bad at thinking of collab ways of collabing. Like, how do you collab with someone? How does that work? What do you do? Do we hold hands? Is that a part of it? We hold hands and you make a miniature and then I'll just draw? I think that technically counts as a collab, right? We merge. Making Monster Garden minis? My god, that is a far future you're thinking of right there. I don't think that's going to be possible anytime soon. I'm not going to get good at 3D modeling fast enough, and also, the other reason is if I seek out a 3D modeler, it would be way too expensive. I don't have the budget for that yet. I would, if I did, I would totally start doing that and like make miniatures. Maybe you could design something for my world and I can build it. I would not complain. I would not be complaining about that. How can I contact you on Discord? What do I do? Can you like whisper to me on YouTube? I don't know how this, is there that function on YouTube? Can you like, hey, this is my Discord or something? Maybe don't post it in chat. I think he's, you're definitely wise enough not to do that. No, he's failing charisma check. Hold on, no, Vammy, look, I'm gonna show you right now that I don't fail charisma checks. I'm rolling a d20. It's a 19. See? It's a 19. You can't fight me. I passed that charisma check. Twitter DMs? Yeah, you can do Twitter DMs if you'd like. Or, Bill, you could hop down in the About section of my YouTube and join the Monster Garden Discord and message me that way. You can join my Are we having a standoff, Bill? No, you're joining my Discord. Okay, fine, you win. I've folded. Wait, hold on. Okay, first of all, I didn't... Whoops, sorry. That's your page. I'm looking for where to hop into the Discord. Where is it? I didn't know you had a Discord. How do I like your stuff so much but don't know you have a Discord? Does anyone remember what the stream was supposed to be about? It was supposed to be about me talking about what I wanted to do with the lore and the videos and stuff like that. And I was going to work on the next video. Description on any video. Thank you. Sorry, you're going to have to hear that a few times. Okay, let me just hop into the tank video. It's literally right there. Wait, is it? Join the Discord. What the? It's been there all the time? Why did you put it in a pile of the other things? I can't see that. I'm joining. Does Miscast have a Discord as well and I just haven't seen it? What about Black Magic Crafts? Did he? Simon failed at the investigation check. Hey, listen. It's a yeah, I did. I definitely did. It's a 3. Bro got the awkward riz. Hey, don't judge me, okay? You'd be nervous too if you were in my shoes, okay? You'd be nervous too. I think just for patrons, well, it's giving me a reason to become a patron, I guess. I have a public section and a bump you up. No. Don't give me privileges. Don't give me free privileges. That's not what I signed up for. I gotta climb my way up the ladder naturally. With my own blood, sweat, and tears. But yeah, no, it's completely fine, Bill. You're not interrupting the stream. My streams are naturally very messy and sort of just me talking randomly, so don't worry, it's not interrupting anything. Simon, don't worry, be nervous, you have more that's not important. That's not the point. You're missing the point. That's never been focus. Messi? Ronaldo? What? Messi is a bit of an understatement. Well, thank you very much, Rasky. But yeah, Bill, if you're still here, I'll be sure to contact you after the stream, and thank you very much for hopping in if you're gone. I don't know if you're gone, or maybe you're just, like, hovering over me in a sort of light, faint, ghostly image. But yeah, appreciate you hopping in, and can't wait to talk. But yeah, let's get back to, okay, sorry everyone, let me get back to my, serious, talking about, actually relevant things, which is the video. I'll get back to making stuff, but thank you for gushing all over me. Yeah. I'm not gonna comment on the way you wrote that, but yes, you're welcome. I am happy to gush all over you. Okay, anyway. So, Simon gushing. I'm gushing. Oh boy, I'm gushing. I'm gushing all over the place. Give me just a second. Okay. I finally catch this guy live. Well, this guy is named Simon, so you gotta call me Simon from now on. But still, hello, Josh. How's it going? It's going well right now. I just got a very good channel just... I'm getting nervous just talking about it. What the fuck? A very good channel just hopped into the chat, and we had a little bit of a wonderful talk, and, yeah, if you happen to know them, Bill Making Stuff, just, yeah, check out their stuff. It's amazing. Oh, and we sent a guy to the Shadow Realm as well. That happened. Monster Garden isn't my name. It's the name of the channel. My name is Simon. I mean, obviously, there isn't, like, a place where you can find that out without me telling you. So, like, people just call me Monster Garden, but I'm Simon, right? But people just say Mr. Monster Garden or Monster Garden. It's weird if somebody's name is Monster Garden. Simon Monster Garden. So Monster Garden it is. Oh boy. He's Monster Simon Garden. Simon is my middle name. It's Monster Simon Garden. Okay, but anyway, hold on. Is this background music too loud? It seems just like droning noise. What the hell is going on? There you go. Okay, how loud is that? That's still a little loud. Let me lower that. Okay, there you go. I'm sorry, it's so unprofessional, these streams. But yeah, to get back to what we were talking about, we're definitely going to separate the lore videos and the working on the character videos. So it's like, if you want to focus on the artistic side of things, where it's just talking about like the development of the character as a drawing and a character, then you can watch one of the videos, and if you want to know the lore, you can watch the other. So that's great. What we can do in the stream is we could draw up how that screen of like the visual novel screen of them having a conversation, what that looks like. That would be really interesting, I think. There's gonna be a song that I'll probably post eventually that I have kept. But I know what kind of instrument Jakob plays, and I did want all the witch hunters to play instruments because, well, what are you supposed to do? You know, if you're hunting witches and stuff like that, you got to keep the moods up somehow. So all of them play instruments. So I was thinking if they were to have had a conversation and he's like sitting and chilling, he'd probably be like strumming away at his instrument casually while having a conversation. That's how I picture him. So let me get an image of the instrument he uses. And don't ask me what the name of this instrument is, because I don't know. The witch hunters could play a big flute. A big flute would be cool, but it would overlap with the rat catcher, and I do want the rat catcher's music and theme to be flute. So I'd rather not have those two like mix. So the witch hunters use this, or Jakob uses this thing. In one of the videos, when we were talking about the kind of instrument he would use, we did focus on like, oh, what kind of instrument would be easy to make and stuff like that, and easy to keep in like a rough and tumble situation. But now that I think about it more, I think this sort of instrument is also neat. So we're using this kind of thing. What is that instrument? I just said, don't ask me. I don't know. I don't know what this is. It's something. It's like a weird string instruments with keys. Mr. Simon. Don't add Mr. I don't, there's no format, like, there shouldn't be any formality with, like, talking to me and stuff. Just call me Simon. Any thoughts about AI-generated art? Oh, we're not gonna bring that kind of conversation into the stream. I don't care enough. Like, I have had opinions about it, and I've talked to people about those opinions, but at this point, my outlook on it is, I don't care. I just do what I do, and I don't care what things around me are happening that might uplift my future and twist it around. So, yeah, I just don't. Sir Simon sounds good. Well, yeah, but I'm not a sir. Or I don't know what qualifies people as being a sir. Do you have to, like, do something to get called a sir? Like a doctor? Or is it just normal to call people sir? How did you begin writing about this world? Do you draw stuff and that you want in it? Do you write ideas or do you have a specific plan? It's either way. Sometimes I write things first and that gives me ideas for characters. Sometimes I draw characters and that gives me ideas for lore about the characters. So it depends. Do you have any species planned for the Monster Garden? Mr. Monster Simon Garden? I have gnomes, but it's not a species that is like intelligent enough to make like a larger impact on the world. I'm not calling them dumb. It's just that they're not like a major race. I don't know, Reinhardt. Have Jakob name the instrument himself? I think he would call it a ringy dingy or something like that. Simone. Oh my god. Simone, like Simon with an E at the end. That's what my parents planned to call me if I turned out to be a girl. They told me. They've told me multiple times. They were like, hey, we called you Simon, but you know what? If you were a girl, we would have called you Simone. So they prepared for both, you know? Jakob's a straight up child? What? I don't think you have to be a child to call something a ringy dingy. That's just a fun name. It's like, oh, Jakob, what are you playing? What's that instrument? It's a ringy dingy. It's a thingy. It's a thingy ringy dingy. But yeah, okay, let's think of like a screen composition that I was. So I wanted it to be like perspective of him in the barn. Like hunched over, a head turned to the side. Ooh, also, I'm redesigning his eye bugs. The bugs that see on behalf of him. I wanted them to be more like eyeballs. You know, like this, where they have like legs coming out. Like that. So they would be in a socket. Like this. So they can be like a normal eye. And then like legs come out of the socket. And like pull itself out. And then fly off. Hunter's Harp is cool. That is a cool name. Hunter's Harp. That is cool. Disgusting, love it. Ew, but awesome. Yeah, but I'm still struggling on trying to find the design for them, because it's like... And I don't know how many of them there should be. Because the flies that fly around his head were supposed to be the eyes. But I guess they could be smaller. And then the wings. But, like, I don't know how the wings fold up in all of this. Anyway, let's think about that later. So, I want to capture the essence of Jakob in the drawing of him, where he's like this hunched little guy. Because something that I want to do with like future illustrations about characters and stuff like that is like, I've been drawing characters and their pages very much like a concept artist, with like the layout, front, back, side views, and item breakdowns and stuff like that. And yeah, that has value in a certain sense, but with the world, I sort of want to, or like with basically the stranger's illustrations where he like documents what he finds and stuff like that. I want it to be less like that. I want him to capture how people are. Hold on. How do I explain this? Like, okay, instead of it being illustrated like concept art, it would be more like if it was actually real and the stranger did go to these locations and did interact with these people, he would probably draw them more like portraits or like something that helps capture the person more. He wouldn't draw, if you found a person in the streets, those are called homeless people. If you just drew someone and you wouldn't draw them like this. Like, you wouldn't be like, ah, yes, let me draw you. Like, standing fucking perfectly straight and separating out all of their essential items, like their purse and everything in it. Like, how did you X-ray vision out my belongings and also the back and front numbers of my credit card? Like, that would be terrifying if you, hey, can I draw you? Sure. And then they draw you, T-pose you, and fucking separate out all the belongings in your backpack. Deconstruct your skull and skeleton. Like, it works for concept art, but it'd be weird in the context of the world. So I would want Jakob or the stranger to draw characters more in like their natural habitat, a pose that is more fitting of their personality and shows off their character and like a little bit of a background to help set the mood for a scene, you know? So more like, okay, and there's nothing wrong with the other way as well. Depending on the concept, I will illustrate it differently, but I want to go more in this direction of like having it be more moody. For example, instead of, where is Jakob? Nope. Where's Witch Hunt? There you go. Instead of this, which is Jakob's page that it is now, which is like very, you know, it shows all of his elements and stuff like that off. But the problem is, I have a problem with this pose. It's a good pose to show off his character, but he wouldn't stand like that. Jakob just wouldn't stand like that. That's not how he is. You would be a good art professor? I would disagree. I think art professors are more focused on, like, doing fundamentals and stuff like that, right? I have no grounds of fundamentals. If I was a professor, I guess I would just focus on fucking expressing creativity and how to like think up concepts. How big is your canvas size? It is too small. If you zoom in just this much, you realize that it's pixelated. So yeah, it is not a high resolution. I draw drawings in the hopes that nobody zooms in. Like, that's my idea of like illustrating things is like, I hope you're gonna look at it from this distance and never get any closer to it, because then I'm fine. But if as soon as you go in closer, you're like, this is a mess. The lines aren't clean, the shading isn't clean. Like I mostly focus that things are clear at this distance. What would witches look like? I know what witches look like, but we won't talk about that yet. The average person doesn't zoom in, luckily. Yeah, it makes my drawings faster as well. Like, that's the thing. I like getting drawings done quickly and thinking about them in a way of nobody's going to zoom in further from this point is a good way to get things to be done faster, because you're not worried about the small details because nobody's going to see them. So if things look good from this distance, you're good. You're fine. But yeah, what I was going to say, this sort of drawing is, Jakob isn't going to stand like that. So like it would be better to draw him more like this. This isn't a good example because he's just standing still, but still more like a piece that grounds the character in an environment. Right? I feel like that would be better, where it helps set the scene and set the mood of what is going on around them. So it wouldn't need to be like a full page like this without any paper around the end. I just enough to like help illustrate it. So like if I were to have it on a concept page, it would be a page like this with writing like this, Jakob, and then writing, and then it would be like an image of him like this, hunched over with his instrument. And then like the background would fade gently into the page, but the background would be like this big around him to like help give color. I think that's actually similar to like what it is in the monster manual for D&D. Hold on, I'm gonna check. I think it's basically like that. I don't know though. Where's the monster? Ah, there it is. Oops. Also, somebody asked where I learned English. I taught myself. Documentaries, YouTube videos, stuff like that. I would imagine he might fully detail only the important parts. Yeah, that's sort of how I picture him doing it. Let's see, is it like in the monster manual? No. I seem to have remembered something wrong from the monster manual. I guess some of the drawings have like a little bit of a background to help establish them in a scene, but most of them are on just paper backgrounds with color and coffee stains. Ah, this one, I guess. Yeah, this one sort of works. I didn't know English wasn't my first language. Yeah, it isn't. It isn't my first language. It's my third. Huh. Why do I remember the monster manual having more images that are have a background to them. That's weird. Now that you said that witch hunters bring instruments, do some witch hunters know how to sing, or does their curses hinder them from doing so, assuming it doesn't affect their vocal cords that much? No, curses aren't like innately messing with people's vocal cords. They can talk fine. Most of them can talk fine. Most people that are cursed can talk fine. But I guess just with the idea of this group, I wasn't thinking of any of them that would particularly sing. You know, like none of their characters made me feel like, oh yeah, Jakob would burst. Jakob would burst. Jakob would. Where was that sentence going? Where Jakob would burst? He would bust into song. That's what I was gonna say. He was gonna bust into song randomly and be like, you know what, all this witch hunting makes me want to sing! And then he, like, just does a ballad or something. Like, that's not what I expect him to be. So that's the only reason why none of them sing at the moment, is because, I just didn't feel like any one of them would sing. But yeah, my first language is German, second is Thai, and then the third is English. Bust into song works? No, burst into song. I read it as bust again. God damn it.
I mean, the Bustin' song does work with witch hunters, doesn't it? If there's something strange in your neighborhood, who you gonna call? Witch hunters. Bustin'. Yucca witch busts. Bust. Witch busters. But yeah, what was I on? Right, the page. Yeah, having like a little bit of a background like this. Oh shit, I still need to go talk to my. Hold on. I just thought of something. Right back. This is not anything to do with the stream. 30 minutes from now, I'm gonna be gone. I'm gonna be gone forever. I'll disintegrate into dust and then probably reform at the start of the next Big Bang. But yeah, I'm gonna be gone in 30 minutes. The stream's gonna end. Because I'm gonna go swimming with my dad. We haven't gone swimming in a while, and I wanna go swim with him. Yeah. Gone like Richard? Yeah, I'm gonna be gone like Richard. My dad's gonna throw me into the pool and I'm gonna dissolve like a bath bomb. Is this music too loud again? No, it's fine. I've got the pool cam. What's the... I'm not gonna ask. Would buy. Anyway, my first piece of merchandise ever that's going to be sold on the Monster Garden shop is actually going to be my bathwater. So get ready for that. Bet you're excited. Let's go. Now that my idea to call it a hunter's harp is canon, could you give me a small detail then I can make canon in my world? I mean, now it's official. Everybody's world needs to have this. So I will order you. This is not like an option of like, hey, you should add this to the world. No, you have to add this to the world. You need to have a character that is called Richard, and you need to have them banished in some strange, unexplainable way. You know those videos of people screaming and then suddenly getting cut off and disappearing? Yeah, like that. Just have him go, ah, and then just gone. And it's like written on a tablet somewhere or in a nook in some ancient ruins or in a dusty tome where it just says Richard gone or something like something that is still unexplainable to this day. Perfect. Thank you. Don't flip coin. Yeah, he flipped a coin and he guessed wrong. He was like, listen, this coin's gonna land on heads. And then he flipped it and it landed on tails and he went, ah, and just fucking disappeared. That's what happened. Richard Universal Traveler. Yeah, This is the extended lore of Richard. Richard is like a universal traveler who sort of messed something up in the timeline and is now getting gradually erased from all timelines that he exists in. So he just goes poof in most places. Something tells me Simon's gonna get contacted for a TV series. Ah, TV series. I don't have enough faith in TV or any of those networks to do justice for my baby. My child is not gonna be allowed in anyone's of those grubby executives' hands. I've seen, I mean, once in a while, a TV show or something turns into gold, but most of them, most of them are garbage. And I don't want that happening. Valid reasoning, man. Yeah, I'm just scared what's gonna happen when I'm dead. Not like, oh no, what's happening after. I mean like what's gonna happen to the Monster Garden, because I'm gonna do this. Like this is my child, right? My baby. It's gonna be a project I do for like ages, and then after I'm dead, HBO or fucking Netflix is gonna pick up my series. They're gonna gain the rights to my series, and then absolutely butcher it. Like they'll have like Jakob, but instead of using like prosthetics or cosmetics to adjust somebody's look, they'll just use like a handsome generic teenager with like a few scars on his face, because they don't want to like not sell, you know, because that wouldn't be marketable if it's like a disgusting horrid creature. So they need like a sexy teenager with like a few scars on his face, and he stares off into the distance moodily, and he's like, I need to hunt those witches and kiss some bitches. And then he goes off on his journey to do exactly that. And it's actually a teen drama where he goes to witch hunting high school, college, but everybody looks like 30-year-olds or 40-year-olds and have beards and muscles. I feel like you've thought of that line before. No, I have not. I've just thought of this, but yeah, it would have been a horrifying thing to happen to my child. What is the final plan for the Monster Garden? For now, I'm going with the flow of what I feel is right for it and stuff like that. Honestly, that's how I've been going for most of the things I've done in life in general. But it's definitely going to turn into something. Honestly, most likely a book. Most likely a book. At least. But I would have to, like, redraw a lot of things if it were to turn into a book, because a lot of the resolution of things that I do is not high enough to be good for a book printing. So, like, I'd have to, redraw. A dating sim. Yeah, it's gonna be a dating sim. Do you have a favorite thing you've ever come up with for the world of the Monster Garden? It's hard to pick, because there's the dwarves, there's the witch hunters, which I focus a lot on just because I like the idea of, like, the witch hunters being cursed as hell and stuff like that, and I've grown attached to, like, Jakob and his story and stuff like that. But also, like, the giant drills going down to the center of the earth, I think is pretty cool, or the magic system. It's probably the magic system, because that's what, like, allows me to do all of these designs is the magic system. It's like the groundwork, the base, you know? Yeah, do a comic book. Oh, I wish. Big Bad Bob, I wish I could do a comic. I don't have the patience for it. I admire the people that can do comics and do like 100, 200 chapters of a comic and still keep going. If I drew the same character 10 times, I don't think I would survive. That'd be the end of me. I can't draw a character that many times. You know, I don't have the patience for that. Yeah, comics are hard. And also just like comics, yeah, like comics are hard. It is not easy to draw a comic. Like there's so many things that are going into it. You're basically storyboarding, pacing, writing, character designs, like backgrounds. You're doing panel layouts. It's like not even just environments or like backgrounds. It's like double the backgrounds because it's like it's backgrounds times 2 because you're doing backgrounds within panels, but the panel layout in itself is also important. And like it's too much. Can you do a backflip? I used to be able to do backflips on trampolines. The most recent time I did it, I nearly broke my neck. So, let's say no. Let's say maybe. My answer is maybe. Maybe I can do a backflip. But yeah, how did you come up with the magic system? Well, the way I came up with it was I just wanted something that I could do visually. Like, I wanted a magic system that would change. The thing that bothered me was magic doesn't. I can't differentiate magic users from normal people. I wanted to be able to differentiate magic users from normal people in the world. So the most obvious way that got, or the most obvious way for me was like, oh, have body augments. So that's how it developed into like, oh, they have outputs and inputs. And then it's like, well, I could push this further. They could have like changes to their body, metamorphosis that they go through when they use magic. So now you can not only tell that somebody uses magic, you can also tell that how long they've used magic or how hard they've used magic. And then it's like, oh, what if there's unique changes for types of magic you've used? So now you can differentiate mages, and also like magic being affected by shapes, like consecutive spirals and stuff like that. That's just shape language. Now, like I can put that into any design and have it imply that that design can use magic or has something associated with magic, right? So I've like made a visual cue, basically. I've made a magic system that's a visual cue, where you can now put this visual cue on anything and it'll help illustrate that it's a magic associated with it somehow. Sir Simon, stop calling me sir. Will there be any giant monsters, like a big-ass a big ass house? No, as big as a house. Oh, I thought as a horse, and I was like, huh, horses are not that big. Or, well, they are big, but like not, you know, the type of big I thought you'd mean. Or maybe even as big as a building? A house and a building. I really like your magic use physical side effect lore. Oh, thank you, Bill. Good visual. Yeah, that's what the magic system was built for, and then it sort of escalated into what it is now with like the different effects it has and stuff like that. And I definitely still need to like illustrate a lot of them. I probably should do some really short videos, or just some short videos illustrating like different types of mages and what their metamorphosis effects are. Just like there's a character called I patent pending name is like Scourge of the Trench or something, who's just a fire mage that has like a smokestack billowing out of his face, As somebody did fan art of it already, and I've once like drew him, but he would be like this terrifying force that walks through the trenches and just torches people. But like the scary part about him is he has no element of stealth. Like, because of the giant smokestack, you would just see him coming from the distance. Like, you would see this billowing pillar of smoke walking through the trenches, and you'd be like, oh shit, oh fuck. And then you see him, and he's like, he has his face obscured. You'd smell him long before. Oh yeah, he'd smell great, actually. Like, really crispy and like broiled. Language? What? You didn't know I swear? it's in stream, okay? I'm fine. The videos have to be a little bit more professional and not swear and stuff like that. I'd prefer not to swear in videos, but in stream I can't help it, okay? The normal way I talk, I swear a lot. But yeah, just like the Scourge of the Trenches being like an example of what a fire mage could turn into, or like an example of a fumigation mage, or a disintegration mage or acceleration mage, like those, what they could do would be good. Yeah. I love time zones. Yeah, me too. I shall not say language again, sir. Well, don't, then. How technically advanced is your combustion, acceleration, terraforming, illusion, healing, fumigation long ago? The Six Nations lived in harmony. How technically advanced is your world? It's a bit of a mess. It's like spans like a very large time frame where it's like there's still medieval-ish armor, but also like revolving flintlocks and stuff like that, and some very steampunky elements. Not the steampunk you're thinking of. No, stop thinking about cogs put randomly on clothing that doesn't make sense. Not that kind of steampunk. The proper steampunk. So there's those kinds of elements. So yeah, I don't know what technology level it's at. So Victorian World War I-ish? Yeah, but then some things from medieval still stay, so it's a little more confusing than that. Have you already drafted a list of spells that would exist in the world? That's sort of a problem. Do you have time magic? Could have mages with one baby arm and one old man's paws. Oh, that's such a good metamorphosis. It's like that if time magic were to have been figured out, that would be an amazing thing to have as the metamorphosis. But no, time magic isn't a thing yet, because so the magic system is very much focused on your understanding and how you grasp a concept, right? When you become a fire mage, or you practice to become a fire mage, you have to embody the idea of flame and understand the concept thoroughly. Like it is a part of you, basically. You feel the crackle and the flame and the heat and the colors. You become one with it, right? It's like an emotional and spiritual and understanding of it. So being able to cast magic heavily relies on you understanding the thing that you're using, which means that the magic system is limited by what concepts people have grasped. So if in the world people haven't grasped like time yet, then they can't use that type of magic. But a lot of other creatures can use types of magics that people don't understand yet. Like they can't grasp the concept of it yet, which means like people are both innovating, but they're also trying to catch up with things in the world that already use magic. You know, so it's like they some creatures can use magic we can't explain, and it doesn't mean that it doesn't work. It's like I can get the best of both worlds. I'm probably not making sense at all, but I can get the best of both worlds. Like, from the perspective of people in the world, magic is a rigid scientific system that they have to learn and discover, right? So it's a hard magic system. But outside of that, with creatures in the world, it is a soft magic system. So I can have creatures that can use types of magics that I don't necessarily need to explain because the people of the world wouldn't understand them yet. Bark skin and leaf buds growing in unfortunate places. Yeah, stuff like that would definitely be available. I feel like people or mages would have a strong enough grasp of like plant growth and stuff like that to be able to utilize natural magic. But yeah, like creatures that use that would also be interesting. Are there animal concept magics? What? Are there animal concept magics? I don't understand that. Would they have wounds based on their magic? Like fire mages would have burn marks? Yes, yes. The most dangerous like type of magic that people have figured out is disintegration magic, which is just the concept of deconstructing and disintegrating things into their base elements. So just making things go poof. And it is incredibly powerful. It doesn't matter what you cast it on, it just disintegrates it. But the problem is the metamorphosis side effects of this magic is also very bad. Like, you tend to sort of fall apart. You know, the people that learn that type of magic don't have a long life expectancy because they just crumble apart. Speak soon, buddy. Okay, take care. Take care, Bill. But yeah, I still need to like make a comprehensive video about explaining like the idea of understanding or something like that. Like, I don't know how to express it well yet. Like how much, I mean, like you need to understand the thing you're going to use magic for. You know? I don't know how to explain it. Maybe I need to use like a word. Like, what was that book? It was a book about the Martian guy coming back to Earth, and he's like an angel, and he can like disappear people and then starts a weird sex cult. Do you mean Grok? Yes, I mean Grok from that book. No, not E.T. But yeah, Grok. It's from that book. It basically is a word that just means that you thoroughly understand something. You know, and that's what that word means. So like maybe we need something like that where it's like I don't actually need to explain it. It's just like, yeah, you got a Grok it, and we can just leave it at that. Because it's hard for me to like express how much you need to understand something for it to work as magic. Hiya, Simon. Recently found you and I'm gushing. Oh no, more people gushing. It's enough if I'm gushing, okay? Please keep your gush inside you. Need to carve a sec to watch all your live to catch up. Amazing composition, realization, and demonstration of your mind and world. Thank you. You have to be a knower. A knower? Is that from the... Is this from fucking KO? What was that? I recently did fuck that. Never mind. Yeah, something like this probably for the oh god, I have to go. I haven't drawn a single thing. Oh no. I've drawn like 2 things. Well, it was a great drawing stream, wasn't it, everybody? You get to see me draw like 5 lines, and then for the rest you hear me babble. This is how the streams go. Okay. Is this okay, by the way? Is this fine? I'm worried that like are there some of you that are like, God damn it, I hate it. He never draws. Is it okay that I don't like draw on a stream, which should be the main thing that I do on a stream, but I don't? Cuz I hope it's fine cuz I really want to draw. It's just I you know, make a podcast. I don't think a podcast would work because I very much rely on the chat to know what to talk about. And just by myself, I don't think I'd have any good topics. Um, it's fine. It's fine. Okay, good. Well, but yeah, if you have any complaints about the stream not being fully about drawing or me not drawing enough on